Hello, growers. Looking for a simple way to supercharge your diet with powerful nutrients? Meet broccoli microgreens. These tiny sprouts pack 10 to 100 times more nutrition than mature broccoli, making them a true superfood. With their mild flavor, broccoli microgreens can be added to any meal or smoothie, giving you a tasty health boost. They're easy to grow, ready in just 7 to 9 days, and thrive in various environments. Rich in sulforaphane, calcium, vitamin C, vitamin A, iron. They protect your cells and fight inflammation. Perfect for boosting your health goals or as a market crop. Start growing them today and experience the benefits. Get 100% organic, pathogen-tested and pathogen-free broccoli microgreen seeds at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below. And I realize this question might be redundant, but I want to get this message clear. A lot of people think platforms like yours are for where I can list my own stuff. I set up a store. I can sell the product I raise. What other potential is there on the platform to go beyond just selling your own product? Like, what if I'm a farmer today, I'm saying, okay, I know a lot of other farmers, they're not online. I am with my store. Man, I could help them out. What potential is there?
So there's a few different ways that I think you could capitalize on the network, the foundation of digitization that Localine is building. I'll give one concrete example that we've seen recently. There was an employee of Localine, actually, who worked with our company for a couple of years, wonderful young lady, and who left Localine, I don't know when, 18 months ago, a couple of years ago, whatever it might have been, to go do a farm herself. Very passionate about the space. I've watched all these other farmers do it. I talked to them. Okay, I'm in. I'm going to do this. And so she goes out and she uses Localine and she has her farm and she goes and does it. And does well, very likable personality. But I think runs into the same challenges that any farm trying to go it themselves runs into. It's really hard. There's a minimum viable scale that you need to get to in order to feel like you've got any opportunity to breathe, right? I got my head above water now. Okay, I can start thinking more proactively and making decisions as opposed to being reactive all the time. And so she knew Localine had the hub product. She basically went out and she got 40 farms in her area to all take they were all using Localine anyway, take their listings, fire them into an aggregate hub. They put a brand on it. And she effectively now has a space and she facilitates the sales between these 40 farms and all of the consumers. They go direct to family, right? So direct to family. All the consumers in their area in southwestern Ontario, in Canada, that buy from them. And so she's actually created a job for herself. She's created a career building a marketplace on top of Localine. And we hope that lots of other people come and do this. If you wanted to build a food waste application on top of Localine and find excess product and deliver it to the consumer, that's a popular thing these days. Typically, you'd have to go out and you'd have to find all the farmers in your area and call them and build relationships and start from scratch. But if you come to Localine with a couple of clicks, you can find the farmers in your area and the inventory that they have. And so we actually can make it much easier for folks like this to come and build applications on top of Localine. There's lots of farmers that need help with sales and marketing. And so this is a really good example of a young, girl who was extremely passionate and extremely talented, about agriculture and about farming. Said, you know what? I don't need to do this myself. There's lots of people that are doing a wonderful job at this in my community at growing different products, but I can help them sell it. And so she's created, just through our software, this aggregate hub for them to come and transact. So that's one example. And I think that that's a good example of the power of, being able to have a platform that isn't just a singular e-commerce application, but that can bring these different farms together and provide sales channels for them.
Can you say the name of her hub for reference if people want to go look?
Yeah, absolutely. It's called Eat Local Huron. So Eat Local Huron, Huron. And I think it's eatlocalhuron.ca. Don't quote me on that, but if you just Google it, it'll come up. Her name is Courtney. Wonderful person. Really important for her community. So she's doing a great job.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about a lot of these. What you can do now through the power of a platform is you could get into farming and say, I wanted to participate in this movement. I think that's why a lot of people get into farming, but then they find like, maybe the growing side of things isn't for me. Like I'm just not the best at it. So traditionally, if you couldn't grow, well, now you either got to be a farm manager where you're hiring staff in to do the growing, or you can be a Courtney and aggregate other farms together and use your passion for wanting to participate in the food movement to move it ahead. I love the food waste idea. I mean, so many farms have overstock and things that they can't sell where you could just be like, hey, plug in your inventory here once a week at this time, and you become the, food waste wholesaler in your community. It's got its own kind of unique pitch. All this other stuff might have gone to the landfill or wherever it ends up. Buy it here or distribute it however you want. So yeah, it gives optionality, I think, to an industry and to people where before it was the only way I can reach my customers typically is through a farmer's market or door knocking or something like that. And it sounds crazy in a world where we have huge retailers that send us something overnight, but this sector just hasn't caught up to that.
Yeah, it's I think it gives a direction for other people to pour their energy into the ecosystem. Localine never thought, we are not silly enough to believe that all of a sudden we are these knight in shining armor wearing a cape showing up to save the local food system. That is the dumbest thing one could possibly believe to be true. It's going to take a meaningful effort and meaningful energy from many people. And thankfully, there's a lot of people that care deeply about this. And so what we do, similar to pulling the friction out of the supply chain, is can you create an environment where other people that care about this can find an opportunity to apply their energy to it? And it doesn't necessarily have to mean starting your own farm. It can be helping them. And so the more things that we can do like that, the more the community that we can have to support it, I think the better chance that there is at success. And in turn, it's good for Localine. It's always a little bit of a cycle.
If you enjoy this podcast, then be sure to check out Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, where you can get your daily dose of farm wisdom. Tune in every day to learn the latest tips, tricks, and stories from the world of farming. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just getting started, our podcast has something for everyone. Join us as we explore topics like farm business, crop planning, soil management, and tools and technology. Start your day off right with Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe today.